Hello my friends, blackendrose here, and today I'm looking at a title that I did a two-part series on once before called Project Zomboid. However, it was suggested by one of my fans that I should look at this again, and I figured what the hell, I'll give it a go. This is the one on Steam, build 23, and there's been a lot of work done since I did a clip on it. I highly recommend this to anybody. I tried this earlier and it started going well, and then the frame rate tanked. So I decided that's not good enough quality for you guys, so I decided to go again. Now, this is the character creation bit. You create your own character. At least that looks a bit better. Right, now what I generally do, because these are the traits, you can have traits that give you points and traits that take away points. Traits that give you points are generally negative ones, so light drinker and brooding I generally do, because I don't generally do those two things, and then I claw that back with stout. It gives me a bit more knockback from melee weapons and increased carrying weight. So let's play. Okay, now the first thing to remember in this game is that you can't win. There is no victory, there is no surviving at the end. This is purely a game of surviving as long as you can in a zombie apocalypse where there is no hope of survival. Just last as long as you can and survive as long as you can, essentially. And that means you have to have suitable shelter, protect yourself, have food and water, and suitable amounts of entertainment and medical supplies to keep yourself going. Okay, so here we are in game. Now, there are two different maps in this. This is the original one I'm in at the moment. You start at a random location on the map well, obviously, in this case, inside. Well, you always start inside a house of some description, but the items you find are randomised, or at least as far as I can tell, they're randomised, with certain certain features that are maintained. So, like, a fridge will always contain food if it has food in it. Oh, crowbar! That'll make a good weapon. Like, certain places will always carry certain types of equipment. But anyway, this is the house I start in. It may not necessarily be the best house, but it's a starting place, and it has all the amenities I need to begin with. Some basic food to start with, a simple weapon, bed, oven, fridge. The basic things that I would need to start with. So, this is survival at its core. This is a survival simulator rather than like the sort of thing you'd find in Resident Evil. Where's the main? Oh, there's the front door. It's already open. Right, so it's raining outside at the moment, and if I stay out in the rain too long, I'll get wet and potentially catch a cold, which will lead to me being sick, sneezing, and the sneezing noise will attract zombies. Yes. Oh, this window's already open. Okay, climb through. Let's close that. So let's see what's inside this place. Some ramen noodles. A few bits of food here and there. Grab that can opener because that's useful. Oh, this fridge is loaded with stuff. Good place to find some early food. It's always good to basically gather what you can early on, but equally you want to be sure that you only gather what you need sometimes. Because I mean, you can gather a lot of things but sometimes you don't necessarily need it all. Whoa, hello! Whoa, hello. Zombie. Uh-oh, 2 zombies. Alright, thankfully I managed to avoid getting hit there. Right, so what were they guarding? Nothing. Just a box with nothing in it. Fat lot of good that is. Now, as far as the combat goes in this, it's a case of generally you can fight, but it's generally recommended not to. And the reason for that is quite simple. You are susceptible to infection, just like any other person. This is not Leon Kennedy getting bitten and beaten up and suddenly, oh, he's immune to infection. No. One scratch has a 24% chance of infection. One bite has a 95% chance of infection. Now that means you could have 10 bites and not be infected, but that also means you can have 1 scratch and be infected, and infection means death. It will be prolonged, but there is no cure, or at least not one that I've seen. Now they may put like vaccines and things like that in later editions, but it's very unlikely because that's part of the core mechanic. You're not a one-man army to fight off the zombie infection on your own. You're just a guy trying to survive. So the idea of being able to be immune, to cure yourself, that detracts away from the actual, like, real survival horror. And of course, this is a very basic concept. This is a concept done in it's probably one of its most basic ways. But you got to remember that this. I mean, I've played this a lot. This is really well done as a concept for survival horror. You basically go out, you loot places to find tools, resources, food, and just basically try and survive each day. Now you can go out and fight zombies, but you've got to ask yourself why. If you're going to go into a fight, why are you fighting? It's like right there, I can see zombies in there. Why would I want to fight them? There may be stuff in there that could be useful to me, but does it warrant the chance of getting a bite or a scratch? Probably not. And generally you have to go into each fight thinking, right, how many are here? Can I take them? And how safe is it? Because of course, each zombie dead means one less in the area. So sometimes it can be beneficial to patrol the area and just take care of a few stragglers so they don't come into your house while you're sleeping. Because they will break down windows and doors. And if they see you, they will chase you. At least until they lose sight of you. If you make noises, they will come to investigate the noise. And they will come in their droves as well. I mean, you can find hordes of these things. Now, there is a bit more to it as well. You can't just basically just keep surviving by just drinking from the tap, cooking food in the oven. No. At a certain point, of which is slightly randomised but decided by stats as well, the electricity will stop. So that means no more power, no more lights, and no more ovens. Which means you then have to start using campfires to cook your food, which requires things like wood to actually light a campfire. And of course, at another point, the water will stop, so you'll need to find a well or wells. I know there are some that will continue to work, but it just sort of adds to the survival. How are you going to survive under these circumstances? You also notice on the right there that a moodlet turned up. There's lots of different moodlets showing hunger, fatigue, thirst, panic, injury. Kind of like in The Sims, where you get moodlets for good things and moodlets for bad things. They're usually indications of the current state you're in. So just beat these zombies to death. There's one less to deal with. I think I've had in one game I've had a total of 400 taken down before I died. And like I say, one scratch or bite can be enough to kill you. So going out and targeting zombies is never a good idea. Okay, what other concepts are there in this? Well, you can, if you get the right tools, you can like cut down trees for wood. You can like start growing plants from the seeds that I've been picking up. Don't need to eat. But yeah, you can start like growing things from seeds, which is very useful. But you need a gardening trowel, which I've very rarely ever found, despite searching umpteen places. But yeah, you need a gardening trowel, and you need seeds, obviously, and you need like a watering can or a gardening spray. You can build things. You can build like walls, barricades, doors, even entire houses if you have the resources, and essentially make a living for yourself. And essentially, it's just a game about survival. It's kind of a little bit of sort of like the Minecraft element in it, but it's just about surviving as long as you can in a world where you're going to die anyway. I mean, it's like, what would we really do in a zombie apocalypse? Well, the obvious thing is we would go and loot every single place we could to find food. And find food, water, and all the things that we need to live. And that's what this is about. Now, there aren't any other survivor NPCs in this. There were, but they've been taken out, but they will be put back in later updates. And that adds a certain like Sims-like element where you have to balance different moods and survivors. They can go off and go looting or join you, but you can end up like getting into fights with them and even killing them. And they could also be drains on resources or get infected, at which point you have to decide whether to kill them or not. So there is a lot to this. The map is huge. You will be hard pressed to get everywhere in this. That's basically it really. Night time will be coming soon. There's also the skills here which level up, or you get experience points, so you can put points into different skills areas. Don't start going on my frame rate. And essentially that's about it really. My plan is for this is to do like a series on this to show survival and basically just see how I get on. Right, so let's loot this place. Dog food. Yeah, dog food, sort of like last resort food. There's a lovely wiki on this as well, with all the information that you probably need to survive. There's a baseball bat there, that's quite handy. I'll find a hammer, I can upgrade that with some nails. Okay. Right, I think we're going to head back to the house now, because I'll come back there later and finish looting it. Because it's going to start getting dark soon. You don't want to be outside in the dark when the zombies come. And not that there'll be more of them, but it's harder to see them in the dark. You can get guns in this as well, but again, guns make a lot of noise, and noise will attract zombies. So you got to, again, go into a fight thinking, right, what tools can I use? What will be the problems with using guns? Because guns will do a lot more damage, but you're liable to attract more enemies. So then it comes to the toss-up between, do I use this but attract more zombies, or do I get up close but risk getting attacked? And even when you go to sleep, the zombies will still be moving. Oh, that looked like a hiking bag. That's good. Means I can equip that and I can put things in it. Okay, so that's the first day, and I think I'll end the clip here at this point. I'm going to do more on this. Depending on how it goes, I might make a mini-series or a full-blown like 10-parter sort of thing. Really depends how far it goes, but basically it's just going to be this, just surviving and seeing what happens. But I hope you enjoy this one. This is a really good game. Check it out on Steam. I think it's about like £5 or something. It's still in early development. There's supposed to be a lot more updates coming to it. But anyway, I'll put that on pause now. This recorded a lot better than it did the first time, so hopefully the things I've done to it will help. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching me. I'm blackendrose, and I will see you in the next part. Take care, my friends.